about the one I love. Yeah, well, the things of this old earth are not of any worth. He's good good to me. Well, death was death to me until Jesus set me free. By grace through faith in Christ alone, He set me free. Now death is dead to me because Jesus set me free. My hope in Him. I'm going to the kingdom. I'm going to the kingdom. I'm going to.
Hey guys, welcome back to Resistance Chicks. We're your hosts, Leah and Michelle. Today is the 20th of September. It's a Friday. It's just slightly after 6 p.m. where we go live every week with a weekly roundup. And I have to tell you, not only have I missed you guys this week, even though I did do a B video and Patriot Gallery did, I think, 2 shows. You guys have a lot to catch up on. There's so much news. We haven't done news. I'm like, this is crazy.
I don't even know how we're going to pack it all in.
But we are going to pack it in.
We're going to try.
That vehicles are weapons.
Yes, they are.
And Beto O'Rourke is still running for president. Bill de Blasio dropped out today, mayor of New York, and so good for him. But
he's got to take one for the
O'Rourke
team.
wants to take all of your weapons away because he says that they're dangerous. Well, a vehicle can kill a lot of people.
Yes.
Okay. Now, after this woman, you're going to see this woman she confronted Beto on taking away weapons, and she did a fantastic job. Beto tweeted it out. This is Beto who says, a woman in, I guess, Colorado told me, heck no, she won't give back her AR-15. I listened, but by her logic, why shouldn't you be allowed to have a bazooka or a tank? These are the conversations Congress shouldn't be afraid of because we're going to end this epidemic. We need to have them. Now, if he's serious about ending lives that shouldn't be taken, then he would take away his own license and he would take away cars from people because 40,000 people are died every year. Are killed every year. They die. Over 2 million accidents in America alone every single year.
It's ridiculous.
Beto O'Rourke was arrested because he took his driving privileges and he drove drunk.
Yep.
And then he tried to flee the scene of an accident.
And he also was arrested for burglary.
Burglary, not armed burglary, but
I was
burglary.
about to say armed. I corrected myself.
Yeah. So listen to what she has to say. She is on fire.
Was one of the gun-owning Americans that heard your speech and heard what you had to say regarding hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15s and your AR.
Let's be respectful. Let's be respectful.
Well, I am here to say hell no, you're not. So with that, I would like to know how you intend to legislate evil, to legislate the hearts of men, and leave American citizens like myself, American mothers. I have 4 children. I'm 5'0", 100 pounds. Cannot really defend myself with a fist.
It's okay. Please let's allow her to finish.
I don't have my AR-15 today. I have my Glock.
There's this presumption that we are just, I guess, inherently evil, because you ask how.
Okay, he didn't. That's not.
Million guns, or drive a tank.
He didn't let her finish. He tweeted out the one. I'm trying to find the whole clip, but I can't find the whole clip.
Probably because they're only putting out the one that Beto once tweeted.
Yeah.
But, okay, just to start out, I mean, she makes such a great point that bad guys are going to do bad things, regardless of what weapon they have. And bad guys are going to get weapons regardless of whether you take them away from responsible gun owners. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, the guy next to her said, well, what do you need with an AR-15? Well, I'll tell you, when it comes to the choice of weapon, okay, so let's say she's a 100-pound woman and they say, well, you could get away with, something really small, like a 22. Why can't you just defend yourself with a 22? Well, I literally have nightmares sometimes of people coming into my house and all I can find is the 22. And I'm literally just like shooting this person over and over and over again and they won't drop because 22s like don't do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't matter what your weapon of choice is, because with Beto tweeting out said, well, why not a bazooka or why not a tank? Well, AR-15s require your finger to pull the trigger, okay? Yeah. Now, A tank is a bomb. If you're equating an AR-15 to something that can literally explode a cannon, I mean, that's ridiculous. What Beto does with that argument is he takes sanity out of the argument.
She literally said, I'm 100 pounds, I have 3 kids. 4 kids, and I need to protect my family.
Right.
By her logic, why shouldn't you have a bazooka or a cannon? Hello? I think I found it.
That does that. We all have stories. Excuse me.
Let's allow her to finish, please.
We can all have these stories. We all have the experiences. I was living in Aurora during Columbine. I had just recently moved when the Aurora shootings happened, yet I have very close ties here. Yet all of those people were there defenseless. They had no way to defend themselves against a crazed shooter. So I want to know how you intend to legislate the hearts of men and leave American citizens like myself, American mothers. I have 4 children. I'm 5'0", 100 pounds. Cannot really defend myself with a fist.
It's okay. Please let's allow her to finish.
I don't have my AR-15 today. I have my Glock. Don't worry, sir. I have your back. Anyway. I want to know how you're going to legislate that, because a criminal by defense breaks the law. So all you're going to do is restrict law-abiding citizens like myself. We all know that you, sir, have a criminal history, and I understand that burglars do not like armed defense.
It's okay.
Yes, sir. Burglars do not like armed defense, yet that is a right that we have that shall not be infringed in America.
Bootlegger.
Good girl.
Burglars don't like people to be armed. And neither do socialists or communists.
Wow, I love that. She did really, I'm really proud of her, because to get up in that kind of scenario where everyone is against you and to say what she said. Now, I have to hand it to Beto for letting her finish. I mean, I think really though the reason why he did is because he figured the longer she talks, the more he could figure out what his answer was going to be. You know what I mean?
That's true. Here we have Andrew Yang, and I like what Jesse Kelly here says. People on the right have enjoyed flirting with Yang and Tulsi because Yang seems cool and Tulsi is hot. But because the right actually wants a sane Democrat Party, so we have choices. But it's all a mirage. Tulsi and Yang are radical socialists too, and I do.
Madison Dyer. I'm a sophomore at Georgetown studying healthcare management. And my question was, realistically, the only way to curb expansion and reduce the environmental impact of the cattle industry is to reduce demand. What policy adjustments would you make to reduce this demand?
I'm glad you asked that, because we wanted to talk about food and the rate at which agriculture, not everybody thinks about this, is a major contributor to.
He fine eating his food. He got plenty of food, and you know he eating cheeseburgers.
To CO2.
Now, cattle is very energy consuming and energy expensive. And if you project forward on what we would need to do to reduce emissions, you would want to modify Americans' diets over time. Now, some of that is happening naturally through education. I do think it's difficult to regulate
That's called
diets.
brainwashing.
So what you would want to do, again, is you'd want those cattle producers to have to internalize the cost of emissions. Because if your cattle ends up polluting a lot, which they do just naturally, we don't hate them for it. I mean, they're just big animals. Don't hate the cattle, hate them, whatever. So then what that would naturally do, and some people are going to hate this, but it would probably make those products more expensive. And that is appropriate, because there's a cost to producing food in that way. And so if you were to make it more...
There's a cost to producing food in that way. What way? See, and this is what gets me with these veganites, which is actually they're going to go head to head with these keto mites. I don't know what they're going to do with the paleo keto people who have literally lost, and gained hundreds of pounds going on these meat-only diets. Yeah. And these Democrats are telling them to stop. And actually, to me, these the keto
extreme.
people, the keto paleo people are actually not helping the planet with their extreme meat eating. Yeah. Okay? Because unless you're finding grass-fed, range-fed meat, you are kind of part of the problem here. But
that's not even okay. Part of the problem is really relative, because I don't believe that the majority of what's damaging our planet, and we do agree that our planet is being damaged, is through factory farming. We're against factory farming because, well, for several reasons. It's damaging because they have to use chemicals. That's number one. So that is true. But what is damaging the planet is beyond these. The factory farms are bad because it's harmful to the animals and it's cruelty to animals. Okay. And it's not renewable. So yes, it is bad for our planet, but if you're going to go head on something, I would address other things than the factory farms. Now, if you want to go at factory farms just because they're really bad like we do and they're horrible, then yes, do that. But I would rather, instead of being so anti things, if you want to use education, Andrew Yang, to educate these kids, be pro Joel Salatin,
so
be pro homesteading, be pro carbon sequestration, be pro doing things, planting your own garden in your yard, telling these kids to, instead of planting grass, to plant a garden, to get chickens.
Instead of having a bunch of kids sit in a room talk, then they would meet together for gardening meetings or be planting things. I don't see Andrew Yang
Why
out
aren't
there
these kids being
anything.
taught to change laws so that you can keep chickens in your backyard? Why aren't they being taught to go after their government to change laws so that they can keep animals, that they could keep pigs and goats and so on and so forth?
All right, we're moving on to the Justin Trudeau fiasco. So this is the picture that started it all. Justin Trudeau as an Arab. Standing next to the Arabs at this party. He was at a party when he was a teacher. It was a dress-up Arabian Nights themed party, and he went full on like black makeup, black. Standing next to other Arabs, they looked like white stone cold white people. So here we have Justin Trudeau is an actor. He belongs on the stage as an actor, knowing that he's just an actor. So he loves to play dress up. Something clicked in his brain during Halloween as a kid, and he just couldn't stop as he grew up. So we have an Islamist, a Native American. I haven't dressed up as like two of these things. Okay, he literally goes full out with these costumes. He pretends to be a cowboy. He's dressed up as a Sikh. He puts his kilt on to meet Scottish people. He's got his old like kimono here with the Chinese.
Okay, so
he
I
puts
need
a
to
kippa
like
on with
adjust
the
the
Jewish.
brightness here so that they can see what you're seeing.
Okay.
Because it's not big enough.
All right. He dressed up as a French musketeer. He literally dressed up as a soldier. Definitely.
I think it's really just too far away.
Well, maybe you can get it off of Twitter. And show people. He's got a boxer, academic, Star Wars rebel, a heterosexual, and a politician. Michelle can find that to show you that while I am bringing up the Paul Joseph Watson video, which does this.
You tweeted it out?
I did tweet that out.
Okay. How long ago?
I don't know.
You're so helpful.
Recently.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Leah does a lot of Twittering. So I don't know how far long I need to
That's okay.
scroll down.
I thought I brought up my Paul Joseph Watson one was up, and now I can't find it. Polly.
There it is. Okay. So we're going to switch this over here so you guys can see it. There it is. Now that's better. So my favorite is the heterosexual one.
Really, my favorite is the Native American. That's a big headdress that he had to get a hold of. My second favorite is the soldier. All right, so here, are you guys ready?
Let me make this big again.
Thank you, Paul, for putting this
Follow us
together.
on Instagram. It's
going to be fun. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to post so much narcissistic selfies. You won't even know what to do with it.
Like us
I'm going to carry around a makeup bag so that you don't have to see the haggy old face with no makeup.
We're going to be the
selfiest pictures of all of our food. We're going to take pictures of everywhere we go. We're going to just be picture maniacs because that's what Instagram is all about. Narcissism on steroids.
Maybe that's why we haven't joined it yet. Well, we have now, but all right, you guys, we love you. God loves you. God bless. Remember, it is not just a conspiracy theory if it's actually the truth. And we'll see you back on Sunday. God bless.
Shine, Jesus, shine.
It's called